We're also learning more about the rates at which the Trump administration is detaining undocumented parents of children who are U.S. citizens. ProPublica found that in the first 7 months of President Trump's second term, the administration detained the parents of more than 11,000 U.S. citizens. That's an average of more than 50 kids a day having a parent pulled into detention.
Welcome to the show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. As you see, the liberals are pissed. They're seething. They're going against Trump, birthright citizenship. Well, I don't even consider that birthright citizenship. To me, it's just anchor babies, okay? Derogatory term or whatever, that's what I know them as, and that's what they are. These people come into our country illegally. They have kids. They get on welfare. They can't speak English. They can't really work. They work under the table jobs, you know, and they're just really not good for the taxpayer. But Democrats love these people because magically, if an illegal alien comes here and has a baby overnight, then it's magically a Democrat voter by morning time. You know what I mean? That's how it works. And that's the reason why they have this going on. That's the reason why they let so many illegal aliens into our country. But Trump has been targeting these families, okay? This family that they're about to show you has like an 8-month-old or a 4-month-old and like a 8-year-old, okay? And they had to give the kids to the pastor because they deported their mother and father, which should have happened a long time ago before they got to have that 4-month-old. You know, they should have did it right after the 8-year-old. But right now, liberals are just pissed about this. And you'll see in the video I'm about to show you. But I think it's great that Trump's doing it. He's finding a way around the birthright citizen 14th Amendment bullshit. And that's why I voted for him, because he does things like this. Anyways, guys, check the video out.
ProPublica used data from the University of Washington Center for Human Rights as part of a public records lawsuit. And the piece highlights one family, parents Doris Flores and Edulio Velasquez, who were taken from their daughters, an 8-year-old and a 4-month-old who was still breastfeeding. And Doris left them in the hands of her pastor and his wife. Current and former officials from DHS told ProPublica that these types of separations are not a violation of policy, noting guidelines on officer discretion have changed. DHS also told ProPublica that it does not separate families. Micah, let's start with your reporting. I want to get into the details.
Ew.
Your analysis also finds that mothers appear to be disproportionately detained.
God.
What did you learn exactly, and how does this data compare to past administrations?
Yeah, so my colleagues and I received this exclusive data that for the first time allowed us to really quantify the scope and scale of how U.S. citizen children are being impacted.
If Gargamel had a kid that was obese, it would be her.
And as you mentioned, we found that there were
like
11,000 U.S. citizen kids who had an immigrant parent detained in Trump's second term. But that's definitely an undercount because the data we have only goes through mid-August of last year.
She's not easy on the eyes.
You can really see some stark differences with the Biden administration. You know, my colleague Jeff Earnthausen on the data team, who was really crunching the numbers, he found that Trump deported mothers at 4 times the rate as mothers were deported under Biden. And at the same time, Trump is arresting and detaining many more immigrants and immigrant parents with only minor criminal records in the U.S. or no criminal history at all. So, you know, what often happens in these cases is family separations because U.S. citizens are not allowed to go into ICE detention with their parents. And so if they're detained, there's an inevitable period of separation from their children. You know, unlike the family detention center that you mentioned earlier, only immigrant children can go into detention with their parents, not U.S. citizens.
I'm about to see my girlfriend
and I just
soon.
want to
I don't want to have that.
underscore
I don't don't want to have that in my
parents who may be undocumented, but have U.S. citizen children, and these parents are taken from those children.
Her neck is a little long.
You say,
I have to say,
when we hear officials say
like
they're targeting criminals, that's just not apparently the case for so many of the cases
I don't know.
you've
is that
uncovered
Adam's
here.
apple?
What
I
kinds
don't know.
of
I better
personal
not say
stories
nothing.
did you
It says
hear?
MS now. They'll trick me.
Well, you mentioned the story that we found in Florida. My colleague Mario Ariza spoke with mother Doris Flores, who had a 4-month-old.
You know what? You ever notice, like, when you ever been to a restaurant? I was at this Mexican restaurant one time, and this liberal tried to order. It was a woman. You could tell she was just waiting for the moment the lady comes up and she said, "Hey, can I take your order?" And she's like, I don't know what the fuck she said, but she said some shit. And I was just like, man, she was waiting for that moment. And then after she's done, she just looked around all proud and make sure she looked around the room and caught everyone's eye. You know, like, did you see that? Did you see that, guys? Did you see that? All right, never mind. I'm sorry. But anyways, let's go on.
U.S. citizen and an 8-year-old who was born in Honduras. But they, like many immigrants in Florida, had a routine interaction with law enforcement that didn't find anything. It was actually because of a threat that another kid made against the older daughter. Police didn't find anything related to the threat, but because they were working with immigration officials, they found out that both of the parents were from Honduras. They had outstanding deportation orders. The father had an old DUI, and the mother had missed an asylum hearing that she was appealing.
They go back to Mexico.
But they, regardless of that, ended up detaining both of the parents at the same time. That left them scrambling what to do with this 4-month-old.
Do people listen to ugly ass bitches like this?
And they ended up calling their pastor, who had to come over in the middle of the night.
If you're like
with
a
his wife,
big,
who's also
juicy,
a pastor,
cute lady that makes good food,
and they ended up taking in these children in the last minute as the parents were detained.
Not to this one, though.
That's just a slice of how all of this is unfolding. Veronica, what's your reaction to this reporting?
I would like to just start with the quote that you could tell a lot about a country by how they treat their most vulnerable. And every administration has struggled how to deal with parents of U.S. citizen
like a creature.
Children.
Like, what is she?
Prior administrations haven't gotten it right, but what we've seen with this administration in particular is that as a matter of policy, they're breaking what historically has been done. So U.S. citizen children have to be exceptional. First-generation citizens have to be exceptional because baked into immigration law is this requirement of exceptionalism for U.S. citizen children to save their parents. So they already account for some type of family separation and hardship stemming from that family separation. What we're seeing this administration doing, though, and what he has tried to do since January
her head looks like
of
a
2025 is reduce citizenship for children born in the United States, born to undocumented parents, to nothing. So we see this citizenship not protecting them. Once a person is detained, once their parents are detained, if the child can't prove that they will suffer hardship beyond what family separation
going to put an 8-year-old on the stand or a 4-month-old, that'll work out.
And most likely, if we're talking about a 6-month-old, a 13-year-old, they may have to be removed with their parents also.
So there you go, guys. There you go. Complaining that Trump is doing the job that he promised to do for the American people. Yeah. The anchor babies had found loopholes to keep their parents here. So Trump says, whoa, I can go in here and take the parents, and then now they got to take the kids too. Well, that's smart, okay? They complain about every move he makes, but every move he makes is a chess move, okay? That's why I voted for him. And I don't want illegals in my country taking resources from my family, taking resources from my friends. I don't want that happening. I don't want to see minorities lose jobs because these people are coming in our country and just taking their jobs for less than they would make so they can send money home to their families. They got 10 or 15 people living in one house. You know, they're all pulling money together, have no survival expenses, and they're sending their money out to Mexico. They've already proven this, okay? So, yeah, the fact that this family's gone, I don't feel sorry for him. You see him trying to look all happy. We're the happy family. We're going to take all your money. Yeah, I'd like to know how long they were on welfare for while they were here and they had all these babies, because that 8-year-old definitely probably got them welfare, probably got them some kind of assistance. But anyways, guys, Trump's doing his job. I'm happy about it, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.